If you're into heritage menswear or just want a t-shirt that doesn't fall apart after 6 washes, well, I think this video might be for you. This year I've picked up a handful of the most requested and talked about t-shirts in all of my videos and all of my comments. And now, while I haven't worn them for the entire year, I've got some great first impressions from the fit, the price, what they are like to live with, and where they come from. So let's get right into it. Right, just a quick one before we get into the t-shirts. I want to speak about how I keep these pristine. I've spoken in previous videos about how I use a natural deodorant, and I still do to this day. If you don't know, using an aluminium deodorant or regular deodorant with aluminium salts in them or aluminum salts in them reacts specifically with your sweat, and that is why you see yellowing underneath your armpits or discoloring on especially a white t-shirt underneath the armpits. Since switching to Wild, all my t-shirts are pretty much pristine other than having a child, but in terms of the sweat and yellowing under the armpits, that is pretty much gone. I do have an affiliate link down below, and there's 20% off for you, and that is a great code that works worldwide. They ship worldwide as well, so you shouldn't have any problems. But I would recommend, not just saying that because it's an affiliate link, but if you're looking to keep expensive t-shirts looking fresh, then switch to a natural deodorant because that is the best thing you can do. All right, so onto the t-shirts, and just for reference, my measurements, because I sometimes forget and usually get called out in the comments. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm roughly 80 kilograms, so that's about 176 pounds. I'm a 42-inch chest, and pretty much all of these t-shirts equate to a large, but they fit very differently. Now, unlike previous years where I've had roughly 12 months to wear the shirts in, this is not the case this year. A lot of these are very fresh, very new, but I wanted to give you, I wanted to kind of start it fresh so I can give you a look when they're brand new, how they feel brand new, and then we can look 6 months later, or probably next year, 12 months down the track, we can come back and say, Cam, I love this shirt or I hate this shirt, and I can tell you how they've held up over time. So here's what we're looking at today. This is the Merz B 215 The Bear shirt, made famous by Kami and The Bear. I've not watched it yet, I need to, I know. This is a lovely shirt and everyone wants to know about it. It's featured in a lot of YouTube videos and there's a lot of articles about them. I've never really tried it on, so I had to get it. I do have their thicker one, which is the 24S. I've had this for like 2 or 3 years now, so I've got them to compare. Another favorite is the Bronson MFG or manufacturing slub cotton tee. Everyone asks about Bronson, mainly because of the price, and they claim it's Loopwheel. It's not, we'll get into that later. But I got 2 from Bronson. This is their athletic tee. And I wanted to compare this to some of the thicker shirts, specifically the Merz B. So we have 2 from Bronson. Next up is Real McCoys. Now this is the Real McCoys 2-pack, and if you remember a few years ago, I did a video on the Real McCoys Loopwheel athletic shirt. I really slated that shirt. So I don't feel like I've given the Real McCoys a good shot at t-shirts. So I got the 2-pack in this, and you know, there's a lot of 2-packs you can get out there, from Velvet Sheen to Whitesville, so on and so forth. And I think I just needed to check this out because value for money, really, really good. Last but not least is Wonder Looper. Now this is their newish ELS shirt, so it's kind of a recycled cotton shirt. So we'll talk about that at the end. I want to call out that all of these shirts have been paid for with my own money, except for the Wonder Looper one. This was gifted to me from Wonder Looper, so we'll leave that at the end, and I kind of won't include that in my rankings. Okay, so this is the 215 shirt from Merz B Schwanen, more specifically the 215.01. .01 is just the color, so that's white. But this is the shirt made famous from the TV show The Bear. It's been all over the internet. Everyone's talking about it. It was sold out at one time everywhere, but you can still get it now. I took a size 6, which is the same size I took in my other Merz B Schwanen items. So the jumper I've got in one of the other episodes, and also in the 24S heavy shirt. This is a size 6. I've had this for many years. I would say that this is the most fitted shirt I have out of this, and it was surprising. I thought it would be the same kind of cut and fit as the 24S, the larger, the thicker one from Merz B Schwanen, but it wasn't. And to be honest with you, I've probably made a mistake here. Merz B do recommend you go for a full size up due to shrinkage, so I think this might be a little bit too small after I do the first wash, but let's see, time will tell. The fabric is 100% organic Greek cotton, and it is loop-wheeled on a vintage loop-wheel machine. Out of all of the t-shirts I have today, this is the only loop-wheeled shirt. The rest that I'm talking about are either regular knit or tubular knit, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It does feel dense and really tightly woven together, which is strange for a loop-wheeled shirt. It comes in at around 245 GSM, which is roughly around 7.2 ounces, so it's on the heavier side. It's definitely a coarse texture, and if it reminds me of any other t-shirt, if you've seen my previous episodes, it reminds me of a Studio Datazen Suven Gold t-shirt, loop-wheel t-shirt from Studio Datazen. If you have that one, this is very much the same feel to it. Feels like it's going to feel and hold up structure over the many years of wear. Definitely more rugged end of the spectrum, tighter fit as well. Now it's got the traditional tubular body, so there's no side seams like you would see on regular t-shirts. It's got a really thin collar, but the construction is on point as you would expect, and that doesn't denote any kind of quality reduction. In fact, it's actually probably a lot stronger than most of the other t-shirts that you see. So this is not pre-washed, so there is shrinkage expected in it, but Merz B have made up for that. They've added a bit of length on the bottom, so it'll shrink about almost an inch in length, but they've, as I said, added that on the bottom. Price wise, depending where you get them, they are around 80 to 85 pounds. This one cost me around 80 pounds from Redcast Heritage, which translates to, I think, around $100, 95 to 100 US dollars, which is not bad value, but again, you're only getting one shirt, and as we'll talk about in a minute, you will get two shirts for that same price. But overall, it's made in Germany, it's loop-wheeled, some of these aren't. It's Greek-made 100% organic cotton, which is great. It's definitely not lightweight, 245 GSM or 7 ounces. That is a kind of a hefty shirt as well, so you're getting good value for money in that respect. You can see here the Merz B also has this triangular patch underneath the arms, and that's for maximum comfort. Out of all the shirts I've got today, this is the only one with that feature. So keep in mind, this is pre-washed in a size 6. This will shrink, but the measurements were pretty much spot on with what is on the website. So Loopwheel really is traditional method when we talk about these kind of shirts. It's done on antique circular knitting machines, and you can see here, and you've often seen pictures of them as well. They only have them in Japan and Germany, if I'm not mistaken, and it's so slow. It's incredibly slow. So maybe an hour it takes to put one shirt body together, but it produces a dense, really soft and seamless fabric with it's got a really unique drape and durability to it. Because it's such a slow knit as well, it means that the cotton isn't stretched, or there's no tension put on that cotton, so it stays stronger, softer, and it tends to hold its shape much better over time. So as I said, there's only a handful of factories in the world that still operate these machines, and it's mostly in Wakayama, Japan, and in Germany. So Japan, obviously known for its Loopwheel, and Germany, this is what the Merz B guys use. But tubular knit, on the other hand, just means a shirt that has no side seams. It can be done on a modern circular machine, and it can be done anywhere, and that means that it can be done faster and quicker to produce. It doesn't produce the same texture or long-term performance, so be very careful when you're buying tubular knit shirts over Loopwheel, thinking you're getting the same thing, because you are definitely not. So the brands like Bronson, like we're talking about today, they use that term Loopwheel in their marketing because the machines are vintage, but they're vintage tubular knit machines. They're not vintage Loopwheel machines. So it's a bit of a branding thing. It's a bit of a stretch on that branding. So be mindful if you're going after genuine Loopwheel. So the bottom line on Loopwheel, if the machine that they're using isn't extremely slow and extremely rare, then it's probably not Loopwheel. And that's fine. Tubular knit is fine, but you just want to know what you're getting. So this is the Bronson Manufacturing, or Bronson MFG slub yarn cotton tee. It is probably the most requested, most talked about, most commented on t-shirt in all of my videos and in everyone else's videos, and for good reason, right? They are around 20 pounds or around $30-ish, I would imagine. So on the face of it, it looks like they're punching above their weight, but there is a catch with these ones. So these Bronson MFG ones use 100% US spun cotton. They come in at around 220 GSM, which is roughly like 6.5 ounces. So on the lighter side, but still not too light. So it's 100% US grown slub cotton. It comes in at around 6.5 ounces, 220 GSM. So it's on the lighter side, but it's not super light. It still has a good structure and surprisingly feels quite solid. Now it's knit on a Tompkins upright rotary knitting machine, so it's not true Loopwheel, and I think that is where a lot of the controversy comes from. It is tubular and it is seamless, but it is not Loopwheel, even though their marketing does say it is Loopwheel. And if I show you the bag that comes with the t-shirt, specifically this one, it might be hard to see, but it does say Tompkins Loopwheeled, which is false. It's Tompkins, but it's not Loopwheeled. So Bronson markets this as a Loopwheel t-shirt, and it's not. It's a bit of vintage machine branding or heritage branding inspired, but technically it's inaccurate. So if you're buying this shirt thinking you're getting a Japanese Loopwheeled fabric t-shirt for 20 pounds or $30, you're not. But saying that, it is quite impressive for what it is. Fit-wise, it's fairly regular, not too boxy, not too fitted. You've got a pocket right there. You've got double needle stitch as well on the collar and all of the stress points, I would say. I've been wearing this week, and I must say it's super comfortable. The fit is just, for me, the fit is just spot on. It's not too flowy and baggy, but it's also not too fitted and tight. It's been really hot here in the UK this week, and it's kind of been the perfect shirt. Now for me, where this shirt really shines and is impressive and it has a place in a wardrobe is where you're like myself and you have a small child that drools on you, puts snot on you, milk on you, or whatever. You don't want to be wearing $100 t-shirts that are just going to get ruined. For $20 or £20 and $30 to get a shirt that is of fairly similar construction and quality, you know, arguably not the same quality, but it's on par. I think that's great value, and I might get called out for this from people in the comments or in the industry, but I think it has its place. So price around £20, $30. It is made in China, which will put a lot of people off, but it is using US spun cotton, so it's US cotton but just made in China. The sizing is pretty standard for me. It is a large. So the measurements for these one, in a size large, pre-wash, the chest is 54 centimeters, shoulder of 47 and sleeve of 22. Now you can already see the difference. The shoulder of the Merz B was 44.5 and the shoulder of this is 47. But I do like this fit. It's very just chill, relax, whereas the Merz B, more fitted. So obviously the other one I got from Bronson, I just got this one because I wanted to compare it to some of my other heavy ones. This is the Tubular knit athletic t-shirt. It is in vintage black. It is the same knitting machine, so that Tompkins upright rotary knitting machine. Tubular seams, no side seams at all. It is not loop wheeled again, even though they may brand it as loop wheeled. But it's very much a heavier shirt, a sturdier shirt. It comes in at 335 GSM, I think. 356 GSM, which is over 10 ounces. So it's a hefty shirt. I must say, I was wearing this morning just to try on before the video, and I love it. I love the fit of this. One thing that I don't get though is in this industry, when something is branded as athletic, so the Real McCoys athletic loop wheel t-shirt, they are usually really thin, really flowy, and I guess that branding is heritage because these are the shirts they wore when they did track and field and athletic stuff on the track. This one is branded as athletic, but I tell you what, I would not want to be doing athletics in this t-shirt. It is a beast. It's heavy. It is thick, and it is just yeah, it's an all-round pretty cool t-shirt. Same price, so this was I think £22, and that roughly equates to like $30, so I think value for money is good on that one. You've got the same construction that you've got from the other Bronson MFG one. Again, I got this in a size large. Now Bronson, there's a lot of talk about sizing online and going up in sizes, but I have to be honest with you, I did the measurement. I measured everything first. I measured current t-shirts that I've got, and it pretty much came up to being the same. So I'm a large in most t-shirts, all of these and all the others, except for some American ones. And this is a large. The good thing about Bronson is they actually email you straight away, or they email me straight away to triple check the sizing to make sure they didn't send you the wrong size. And I said, no, I've done the measurements. I think large is good. And yeah, they are. You'll see that they do look like they fit pretty good. So I think, again, for both Bronsons, value for money is pretty good if you just want to buy a t-shirt that is going to look good, fit good, feel good over a fast fashion, I would say, or high street or main road shop that sells really bad quality t-shirts, if that makes sense. So these are a really good option for people. So the Bronson shirts both come in these vintage inspired bags. I don't know if that's how they came back in the day, but you see they've got all the vintage branding on them. Tubular seams, Tompkins loop wheel, which is false. So this is how these come. All right, next up is the Real McCoys 2-pack. And this one, I think, is a bit of a redemption story because, as I said before, a few years ago, I did a video on the Real McCoys athletic loop wheel t-shirt, and I slated it. I didn't like it. And yeah, I apologize for that because I probably wasn't looking at it in the right light. So I've been wearing that one recently and it's okay, or maybe I've put on weight, I don't know. But I just wanted to do something else from their range, and they have their vintage inspired 2-pack shirt, and they're great. So what's different with these ones? Well, first off, they come in a 2-pack. They come in like this. Like you see in a lot of 2-pack companies, Whitesville, Velvet Sheen, etc., do these little plastic things, and this is how they come. It's 100% combed cotton, and what do I mean by combed? Essentially, that's just the cotton. It's not a type of cotton. It's the way the cotton is processed. It's combed to take out all the impurities. And what you get is a smoother, stronger yarn that doesn't have all the ends sticking out. So it's a lot more smoother. It feels great overall. Now this one comes in at around 220, 230 GSM, so 6 to 6.5-ish ounces. Again, kind of mid-ish weight. You can't see through it really when you're wearing it, and I kind of hate t-shirts where you wear and they're so thin that you can see your hair or whatever through it, but this is not that case. So these are tubular knit as well. They're not loop wheeled like the Merz B or the Wonder Looper. They do have no side seams like the others. It has a proper bound collar, which is really, really cool, and it will just come back to shape over time. It feels structured and smooth and holds its shape beautifully. And to be honest with you, I think this might be my favorite of the bunch. The fit is easy, it's casual, the neckline is smart, it's not drapey, it's not flowy like I've had before on other t-shirts. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. I've been wearing it all week, and yeah, I have really no complaints with it now. Obviously, it's not being washed, so a lot of fabrics and a lot of t-shirts that I've worn over the years are amazing out of the box. They're so smooth, but after you wash them a few times, like for instance for me, the Whitesville, I'll talk about that in another video, I feel they degrade over time, and my love for them gets less and less and less. So this cost me £95 here in the UK, which is roughly around $130, and you get 2 of them. So that is the amazing thing. Whereas the Real McCoy's athletic tee, which I slated before, was £130. So it's for the same price, you're getting 2 tees versus the one. And you really can't fault that, right? So you can wear one and put one away. So out of all the white ones I have, the Real McCoy's is by far the purest of whites. You can see here the others are more of a natural tone. So if you're looking for the whitest shirt out of all of these I have, go for the Real McCoy's. Now these are made in Japan. It's from combed cotton. I don't know where the cotton comes from, but Real McCoy's use the good stuff, so you can be sure it's going to be quality and hold up over time. So measurement wise, in a large, these come in around 56 centimeters for the chest, shoulders 48, and the sleeve is 22, which is basically on par with the Bronson MFG one. So, and I did notice that wearing the Bronson one this week and the Real McCoys, they fit very, very similar. Massive price difference, but the fit is great. So if you're someone that gets through t-shirts super quick and you wanted to try the Real McCoys, but you're worried about the value or the cost or getting them dirty, then maybe the Bronson is the one for you. So let's talk about rankings and which one I would wear the most, and which one I would recommend getting if you were looking at. And I mean, this is just my ranking, right? You might have different reasons. I think for me, I'm super surprised by the Bronson t-shirts, honestly. And I have a child, and a lot of my t-shirts get stains on them. I've got a 2-pack from Whitesville. One of them is destroyed because I don't know what the hell happened to it. So for you parents out there, you will know this, and you'll know that. And when I found out that we were having a child, someone said to me, say goodbye to your nice clothes. And I get that, right? So if you're someone that has a child, is having a child, and you still want to stay in this kind of like market of shirts, you cannot go past the Bronson. Okay, it's made in China, but it's American cotton. You're not getting loop wheeled, even though they say it's loop wheel. And there's probably other things that are bad about it that I've forgotten to mention. It is made in China as well. So if you're not into China, and a lot of people are not into made in China, then maybe steer clear. But if you want a t-shirt that is pretty much like kind of mirroring the construction or trying to achieve the same construction and history and heritage that some of these other brands do, you can't beat the price. It's great. Their website is easy to use. They have a lot of different variations. So the slub yarn, the athletic tee, there's loads more on there as well. And it's not just t-shirts, they have everything. So Bronson MFG, and again, I'm not saying that I bought this with my own money. There's no affiliate links to Bronson on this at all. So I'm not making any money for it, but I just genuinely, I will be buying more Bronson. That's just personal opinion. So that's one aspect. Second aspect, I think value for money, you cannot go past a 2-pack, and Real McCoy's tried and tested. So I think this would be my number 2. I think this is a great t-shirt, well, t-shirts to wear. Again, I may change this over time, But on the whole, from a brand new t-shirt perspective, the fit, the drape, everything about it is spot on. I absolutely love it. Probably third, and well, I guess that's last because the Wonder Looper I didn't pay for, is the Bear. I got it because of the hype around it. I love Merz B, and I absolutely love my other Merz B t-shirts. I would probably, I'm not saying I got the wrong size. I'd love to size up on this, or and see how the size fits, or I actually want to see how this fits post wash. But this is the most fitted t-shirt I've got out of all of these today, and maybe because it's summer right now and I don't want to be wearing a really fitted t-shirt. It's not tight, it's not too small, it's just a fitted t-shirt, and you see it in the TV show, right? He's wearing it, it's fitted, he's got the sleeves rolled up a little bit, and it just looks great on camera. But practicality wise, for me, in summer heat, traveling in London or on the tube, the London Underground, where it's hot and sweaty, I just think after a day's wear, it would be a bit worn in. But the positives of this t-shirt, I think out of all of them, this one looks the best. So if you're after aesthetics, you cannot beat the look of this, and that's down to the fitted nature. Second is the fabric. I think overall, it would beat all of these fabrics over time. So when we come down to a year later, I pretty much think that this t-shirt will probably be the one that's held up the best, and that is going from speaking about my Suvan Gold one from Studio Dartisan, which still to this day is like it's brand new, and I wear that a lot, and that is due to the dense weave, the thickness, so on and so forth. So I think the positives of this shirt: looks amazing, the fit is amazing, and the fabric is incredible. So one thing I think you get is you get what you pay for, right? So Merz B and Wonder Looper are by far the most put together shirts that I have out of this bunch. There's not a stitch out of place with that Merz B. It's just so solid, and it's just premium in every aspect. On the flip side of that, the Bronson, I could tell there was a few stitches out of place. It looked a bit sloppy in certain areas where, say, the tags were going in, for instance. So you can tell that the quality control, the quality aspect is just not there. And that is kind of represented in the price that you pay. So there's the pros and cons. You can see for everyone it's different. Make up your own mind on that. So hopefully we'll come back in a year's time and go over these again, and maybe those rankings will have changed. So this is the Wonder Looper ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirt. The ELS stands for extra long staple, and if you know cotton, then you know extra long staple means super luxurious and soft, but also super strong. So it's made up of 3 distinct properties that give it that recycled name, and the first is organic extra long staple cotton, and we know that is durable, strong, and super soft. The second is offcuts from their double heavyweight Suriyami t-shirt, but also recycled cotton from the spinning factories that make all of their t-shirts, and that is light, airy, and fluffy. So all that comes together and is just an amazingly soft t-shirt to the hand. It is not light by any weight, so I think it is around 8.25 ounces, if I'm not mistaken, which is roughly around 280 GSM. So it's not, for me, it wouldn't be a summer shirt. It would definitely be a shirt. It's definitely not a shirt for you guys in the US now with your heat wave, but it's a shirt for the off seasons, you know, the springs, the falls, and definitely the winter. Super shirt. It's Wonder Looper after all, so you know the quality is on point, all the stitching is on point. Price on these is around 80 to 90 pounds, so that is, I think, roughly just over 100 US dollars. Sorry for the conversions on the top of my head, but that's the rough price on them. But again, you're getting a really cool shirt for this. It's made in Japan, blended extra long staple cotton, medium to heavy feel, really cool shirt that's going to last you a very long time. So those are the main t-shirts I'm going to be wearing this year, with the honorable mention of Wonder Looper, of course. I tried to cover as much as I can in the time I had. I'm sorry if I've missed off things like Velveteen, but we'll cover them off next time. I'd love to know what you think, so drop a comment down below and tell me if I've missed anything or if you've got any comments on these shirts. And if you guys are new around here and you've stumbled across this video, I do this kind of stuff all the time. I've got videos of t-shirts like this spanning back a couple of years. Check that description down below. There's loads of links there. And please hit the subscribe button, because it helps me buy things like this to give you guys a really solid review. So I really would appreciate if you hit the red button. So with all that being said, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.